New tonight on KGW News.
Heads up!
A driver rams Clark County deputies, but see what stopped her from getting away. Plus,
we are not garbage. We are doctors, we are police officers, we are teachers.
a plea for understanding from a local Somali American after the president singled them out. Then the clues that could point to a new ICE detention center coming to Portland. And later,
make sure we do everything right, slow it down, be safe.
a tense and painstaking rescue with 2 window washers dangling 15 stories in the air. But first to breaking news in southwest Portland, where authorities arrested a man at a MAX station after he allegedly threatened TriMet security with a knife. We were there as he was taken into custody just before 10 at the Goose Hollow MAX stop. Police say it does not appear the man physically hurt the TriMet officer, but did show a knife and will likely be facing menacing charges. Both blue and red MAX lines were delayed. Well, now to new video that shows what appears to be ICE agents arresting a man inside a local Home Depot, with witnesses recording as he is forced outside. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Mulco. That arrest in the Dalles angering some in that community who say retail stores like this should not stand for it. Catherine Cook talked with a father who watched most of it unfold. Catherine.
David, he was hoping to help them, but there wasn't a lot more they could do but pull out a cell phone. He figured the man was trying to send a message to his family by yelling out contact information.
Saturday morning at this Home Depot in the Dalles, 3 masked federal immigration officials grab hold of a customer and force him out of the store.
I heard like, stop, stop, stop.
Customer Destin Ramsey recorded the incident. You can hear the man yelling his phone number in Spanish, possibly an effort to notify his family.
Why do you cover your faces? You guys are being cowards.
I was speaking my mind at the time.
Ramsey says he's since been in contact with the detained man's family. They told him he's a father, a handyman, and a church volunteer who's lived in the Dalles for years.
It was heartbreaking, honestly. It was heartbreaking. You sound like a really, really good guy.
The Home Depot has been the subject of several demonstrations, including this one last month in Beaverton. Protesters are angry that ICE agents are being allowed on private property to arrest people, including day laborers.
Home Depot has an obligation. If they want to serve their community by being here, we think they should serve their community by sticking up for the day laborers. And we want to ask them to make a policy to keep ICE out of their store, ICE out of their properties.
We asked Home Depot about it. They wouldn't provide direct answers, but shared this general statement saying, quote, "We aren't notified that immigration enforcement activities are going to happen, and we aren't involved in the operations. We aren't coordinating with ICE or Border Patrol. We're required to follow all federal and local rules and regulations in every market where we operate."
How dare you?
When federal officials left the store, a customer praised them for their work. Destin, meanwhile, is consoling his 5-year-old daughter, who was with him when this happened.
She doesn't want me to also be taken away. You know, it's just like, and then also having to explain to her that, like, Daddy is also not going to be the one that gets taken away here. That's not who they're looking for.
We contacted DHS for more information on this specific case and are waiting to hear back. David, back to you.
Thanks, Catherine. Appreciate your reporting. Well, tonight, people in Woodburn are reeling after federal agents detained at least 14 people there on their way to work. Immigrant rights groups say the farm workers and landscapers were all traveling in a van yesterday morning when they were arrested. It's not the first time this has happened. At the end of October, Piccoon, a farm workers union, says agents detained 35 people in a single day.
Many of these folks are essential workers, people who play essential roles like growing our food, taking care of our kids. They're in construction. They're in many industries that are critical to Oregon.
Woodburn declared a state of emergency last month over the federal immigration crackdown. We have reached out to ICE and Homeland Security on these arrests as well. Well, our immigration coverage continues in just a few minutes with powerful words from those in the local Somali community, as well as a possible new ICE detention center a paper trail suggests that could be coming to Portland. Stay with us. In the meantime, new tonight, police dash cam caught the moment a suspect rammed Clark County deputies while trying to flee. This started, authorities say, with a report of a home burglary in northeast Vancouver. A car was stolen, then it was spotted in Battleground. Deputies say the suspect got away from them initially. They tried spike strips. That didn't work, so they tried what's called a grappler, a device that has a strap that shoots out from the patrol car and tangles. You see it there in the suspect's vehicle axle. That stopped her, but she still tried to get away by ramming 2 patrol cars. Shortly after deputies pinned her in, no one was hurt during the chase. The suspect, a 40-year-old woman, faces multiple felony charges. The sheriff's office, by the way, just started using the grappler earlier this year. Wow. All right, let's take you outside now because it is dried out tonight, at least in the Rose City, after a very soggy Thursday. So, Matt, I'm curious, how's it looking through the weekend?
The weekend's not looking too bad, David, but we have concerns about next week. We'll be talking about a weather impact alert for a couple of days there. But right now, as you mentioned, it's dried out. There is a little rain falling out of the Portland airport. Boy, it's that east side of town and up in Clark County that's still getting rain, and that really got hit the hardest. It's mainly just light rain and drizzle, but you can see it is sagging back down to about I-5, North Portland right now, after a nice break for a while, but now it's filling back in a bit. This will be mainly light rain or drizzle mist overnight tonight, and mainly on the east side of town. Then it'll pick up, and everybody's going to get it in the morning as this next batch of rain rolls in. Notice the trajectory here, kind of going right over the east side of Portland. At least it was during the day today, but it'll be more widespread during the day tomorrow. So let's look at the rainfall we had today. The airport's pushing an inch, so pretty impressive. Notice how it really drops off to the south and west, but some decent amounts all around town here. That 0.00 at Astoria, they were having problems with the weather station there, so that is incorrect. They've had rain 4,200s at Tillamook, 3,400s up at Hoquiam. Now, look at the rainfall forecast through 1 o'clock tomorrow, about 1/3 of an inch. We can handle that, but expect wet weather for the morning commute. And then it dries out. Friday night, part of Saturday, we'll get more rain to fill out the weekend, but nothing too heavy. That changes next week. We've got weather impact alerts for Tuesday and Wednesdays, not 1 but 2 atmospheric rivers aim at the northwest. So we'll be talking about the potential for flooding and landslides and all things atmospheric river a bit later. The rainfall amount is really impressive. David?
Oh, a lot to keep an eye on. Thanks, Matt. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, the historic Columbia River Highway is back open just east of Troutdale after a landslide closed the road just before 6 this evening. You can see several rocks tumbled onto the pavement. No word yet if crews will have to do any extended work to shore up that hillside. In Clackamas County, a 22-year-old man pleaded guilty to arson and was sentenced today after he set fire to Oregon City's Blue Heron paper mill. Christian Dukes will serve 60 months in prison, with other charges dismissed as part of a plea deal. In January, Dukes used a lighter to ignite a stack of paper, causing the fire that ultimately destroyed that long vacant building. He told prosecutors he did it because he believed people camping on the property had stolen his stuff. And Governor Tina Kotek is running for re-election. In an announcement video today, she positioned herself firmly against the Trump administration's policies, pointing to her resistance against the president's efforts to deploy National Guard troops to Portland.
The choice is between a governor who will stand up for Oregon and protect what we believe in, or a governor who will let Donald Trump do whatever he wants.
The 2026 election could end up as a rematch between Kotek and Republican Christine Drazen if Drazen wins the primary. Marion County Commissioner Danielle Bethel is also running for the GOP nomination.
They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country.
President Trump there unleashing a tirade against Somalis earlier this week, at one point calling them, quote, garbage. His rhetoric coming amidst reports of ICE operations in Minnesota, specifically targeting that community. Alma McCarty talked with local Somali Americans here, and Alma, it sounds like they are understandably concerned.
David, the Somali community in Oregon pays attention to what's going on in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, which is home to thousands of people of Somali descent. Although the population here is smaller, the impact of this negative messaging hits home and drives many to worry.
Kids who are born here, never even been outside of the country, many of them are now having to carry their passports or their birth certificates. Women who are wearing hijab now think they are target. People who may have a less English proficiency, even though they're U.S. citizens or lawful permanent residents, are now worried.
Ismail Warsami and Abdi Fattah Abdurrahman explaining the current experience of many Somali Americans, especially following some incendiary comments made by President Trump.
He said the Somalis are garbage. We are not garbage. We are doctors, we are police officers, we are teachers, we contribute to this country in every aspect of life. And Somalis are not reliant. And they add not, as he said, they add little into the community. We add more to the community. We contribute a lot to the community.
A community now on edge, even in Oregon, after reports of planned targeted ICE raids in Minneapolis-St. Paul. Though administration officials say they're not targeting the Somali community, but instead enforcing deportation orders already issued by judges.
I used to do crisis management, and I'm one in my previous roles in the past. I'm doing full mode crisis management right now.
A big focus of the Southwest Somali community of Oregon, education, making sure people know their rights.
What to do if you encounter with ICE, if they come to your home, things that you do, who to call and what to do.
And I've noticed that when people understand that you know the rights, they tend to violate them less.
Down the street at Urco in Northeast Portland,
all the rhetoric, it's created fear in the community and creates so much confusion.
Similar discussions and trainings are taking place for Somalis, for Afghans, and for all immigrants and refugees.
As a nation of immigrants, I think we're doing the right thing to support those who will become contributing members of our society.
And right now, that's offering as much help as they can during what they call uncertain times.
We create a network of support where a family can go get food as well as get legal resources.
And Urco leaders tell me that another thing really causing confusion is the pause on immigration applications from 19 countries that the feds have flagged as, quote, countries of concern. Even if those immigrants have been here for years and are about to become a citizen, all of that is now in limbo. David?
Yeah, thanks, Elma. Appreciate all the context there and your reporting tonight. Well, meanwhile, there are new clues the federal government might want to open an ICE detention facility in Portland. While the city already has an ICE processing facility on the south waterfront, we've seen lots of protests there, right? Detainees are not held there overnight and are typically sent to Tacoma. Now, a federal contractor is looking to hire staff for a detention facility in the Rose City. KGW found job listings posted this week for a warden, assistant warden, and managers that would be responsible for, quote, overseeing the daily operational functions of an ICE detention facility. The job location address is Portland's airport. Spokesperson for the airport and Oregon's Air National Guard base both say they are unaware of any plans for a detention center at or near the airport. We're still working to get information from the contractor or from ICE. We'll keep you posted on that.